Hello everyone. Tonight we're going to review a Netflix original TV series called Fubar, and it stars Arnold Schwarzenegger and few other people whose name I didn't even bother looking up. And in this, Arnold Schwarzenegger is this middle class guy who owns an equipment shop, but is secretly a CIA agent, and his job is to save his country, protect the lives of innocents and whatnot, while simultaneously living a double life where he has wife and a daughter and a son, maybe and a son. Yes, exactly. Arnold already did this type of movie called True Lies, where like he lives a double life, and actually, yeah, he has a daughter where, and they don't know, they're not in contact with his life yet. But in True Lies, it's he did the everything is about the spy thing and not like how it crossovers with his like normal life. But like in this, it is about him going into the field and like going into South America to Guyana and like to beat up a bunch of bad guys. But he finds out the CIA operative that's been assigned to him is actually his daughter. Like, and he's like a very like it just blows his mind like when he finds out. And when he talks to his daughter, she says that like I it was my dream to go up to be a CIA. I didn't know that you were a CIA, but it finally explains a lot of things that you've been doing, of why you've been late to work, and why you had a divorce with mom, and why mom has been dating someone else, etc., etc., etc. And she said that because of that broken home that you created, it is the primary reason why I decided to join the CIA. So they're in this together. But then, like halfway through the series, she does the same thing. She has a boyfriend that she is talking to, and she's hooking up with some other guy operative in the field. But then she kind of like realizes she's just repeating the same pattern that her dad has done, essentially making her no different from our dad. And little by little, like Arnold wants to get back with his ex-wife, so she gets his ex-wife a job in his cover job. He has a gym equipment sales job that he has as a cover job, and in that he puts his wife like in the job, kind of like, so to kind of like maintain the relationship so that like he can keep a close eye on her. But what he doesn't figure out is that like his wife is nosy, and she tries to figure out if where the money is coming in and going out, if his business is legitimate or not, and if he is actually a CIA operative or something worse, like a drug dealer, like an actual drug dealer, like of sorts. And this unlike True Lies, this will be kind of like seen as a sequel to True Lies, maybe, where like the dynamic between him and his daughter working together kind of like changes, because like their family and they're constantly fighting each other, makes them constantly fighting each other becomes like outwardly visible to the other members of their team, to the point that like, how do you say, like it is like ruining the missions and whatnot. But like they eventually try to create a much stronger bond that connects them, so that they can like have that like close family atmosphere together with themselves and like with their family and so forth and so forth, which was kind of like absent like throughout the movie, like without which was absent like in the True Lies kind of like movie, which is explored in this movie. But it goes to show you that like if you're a family, but like if you involve your family in a business, then it talks about, then you see the dynamics of that family kind of like showcasing itself, and the arguments between family members making the business either better or worse. So that is why in America they strongly emphasize a healthy how do you say, work life balance, like separating your work life from your personal life, and don't mix with pleasure, don't mix business and pleasure, work with pleasure, and so forth and so forth. And but in this movie, them working together and them going through life threatening situations together actually makes them much more stronger and creates a better life for them. That is kind of like how this True Lies kind of like this True Lies or Fubar is kind of like set about, and in the end there is a very nice ending, so forth and so forth. But it explains the dynamic father has with her daughter, and like eventually what we are trying to do is like any time of fights that we have with family or disagreements with the family, we should always try to work it out rather than distance ourselves from the other person, and to live completely different lives or live in a codependent relationship where like one bothers the other person and then bothering them creates problem for the other person, so forth. This type of codependent relationship is definitely not healthy. So because of that reason, like people fight and like they destroy the business and so forth. So this is a very interesting take on the American family structure, and Netflix has been coming up with a lot of these similar like TV shows and movies and so forth and so forth. Something like Outlaws, etc., where like the family dynamic is examined in a very stressful situation, but also in different situations where the family dynamic combining with a business or not combining with a business and combining it in a very dangerous situation either like improves the relationships or it makes the relationships much more terrible, and this explores all of that. Do definitely watch out this series on Netflix. It's amazing, and I saw it on the same day it came out. Thank you.